Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my empties, declutters, and pans for the month of January. I'm thinking I will have an empties video every month where I talk about the products that I emptied that month. I don't know if I'll always have pans or products that I hit pan on in a month, and I don't know if I'll always have declutters either. But I figured this would be a good place to put those things if I do hit pan on a product or if I do find that I need to declutter something. So that is what we are doing today. If you don't know me, my name is Sarah. I make content about makeup, skincare, and a more mindful approach to the consumption of beauty. So if that sounds good, I hope you will consider subscribing, joining in on the fun. I would love to have you. Now let's get into the video. So I'm gonna start with empties, and then I will do declutters, and I'll save the pans for last because they're the most exciting. Okay, so I'll start with hair care because for some reason this month I finished a lot of hair care products. So the first empty is the Aveda Scalp Benefits Balancing Shampoo. This is a shampoo that's meant to kind of even out your scalp. So if you have a scalp that leans too dry or too oily, mine tends to lean on the oily end of the spectrum. It's supposed to kind of balance that out and balance out your scalp. I have used Aveda hair products for many, many years. My mom always went to Aveda hair salons. I have been to Aveda hair salons in the past, so I've tried quite a few of their products. This was my first time trying this shampoo, and it does say it gently cleanses hair and scalp. I guess because I have a scalp that leans oily, for me I felt like it was a pretty deep clean. Like my hair felt super duper clean after using this, and I could go longer between washes, I felt like. So I can't speak to the way that it would work if you have drier hair. It's a clear gel-like formula. It's not a very hydrating shampoo formula. But if you do have an oilier scalp, you might like this just for the fact that it really gets in there and cleans your scalp very, very well. If you haven't used Aveda products in the past, they all smell really, really good, but it is sort of like a herbal aromatherapy, kind of a spa-like smell, which I really like. And I already have another one of these in my shower at the moment. So I have repurchased this. I obviously really enjoyed it. Honestly, all of the Aveda shampoos that I've tried I've really liked. So you kind of can't go wrong. Highly recommend their brand. And this one was a good one. Next up, I finished 2 dry shampoos, one a full size and one a mini. I should say I use dry shampoo more of like a styling product than anything. I actually put dry shampoo on my clean hair because my hair is just so fine and it really lacks that volume and texture. So I actually use dry shampoo more as a styling product than I do for its actual purpose, which is to go longer between washes. First up is a product that I was actually gifted by the brand in exchange for review. This is from Vegamour, and it is their GRO Dry Shampoo. So if you're not familiar with Vegamour, their entire brand is around stimulating hair growth and increase in hair density. So I've tried their shampoo and conditioner, which are actually still in my shower, and I've tried their dry shampoo. I have not tried their scalp and hair serum, which I think is the kind of like the keystone of their entire brand. And all of the other products in their lineup claim to have the same benefits of stimulating scalp and hair growth, even their dry shampoo. So I think that that is really, really cool because if there's one thing I am, it is, shall we say lazy, or shall we just say low maintenance? I am definitely lazy when it comes to my hair care and how many steps I have to do. So including a scalp serum in my routine is just an added step for me, which means I'm a lot less likely to get the results because with things like growth serums, you have to be consistent and you have to do it a lot over time. So having that same proprietary kind of ingredient in other products that I'm already using in my routine anyway is amazing for me because it doesn't add on any extra steps. So I did notice when I was using this along with the shampoo and conditioner, but mostly this more than those other two because I rotate through my shampoos in the shower, I did notice lots of sprouting baby hairs around my hairline. You can actually see a couple of them here. And on the top of my scalp as well. So I'm thinking that this is actually pretty effective in terms of fulfilling its claims of stimulating hair growth. So at least from what I've noticed, this product does work for that purpose. It also works well as a dry shampoo too. Like I said, I use my dry shampoos mostly for texture and volume in my clean hair, but it also has the added benefit of helping me go longer between washes. I liked it for that as well. It had a really nice, all of their products actually have a really nice citrusy, fresh scent that makes them really pleasurable to use, and apparently this is plant-based and talc-free. It has no GMOs, parabens, phthalates, sulfates, silicones, mineral oils, gluten, or synthetic fragrances. So a very kind of conscientious brand in terms of what they're putting into their products. So I reviewed this very highly on my Instagram. I'm reviewing it highly here for you as well. I think it's a really nice dry shampoo, but I also love that it has that added benefit of helping your hair grow or grow back if you've lost hair, or just, you know, stimulating hair growth for a little bit more density and fullness, which is what I use it for because my hair is so fine. I'm really thankful that I was able to try the products because I probably wouldn't have picked this out on my own. For some reason, I was really skeptical because it is a dry shampoo. I was thinking there's no way that the dry shampoo is going to work as well as something like a dedicated hair and scalp serum. But from what I can tell, it definitely does work, so highly recommend. And another dry shampoo I was gifted for review is the Living Proof PhD Perfect Hair Day Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo. This is a mini version. I think this worked really well for my purposes with giving me more volume and texture, but it also, I noticed, helped me go longer in between washes, having that dry shampoo already on my clean hair and absorbing oil as it's forming. So I think that this is a little bit expensive for a dry shampoo. I kind of am hesitant to recommend anyone run out and buy it just because of the price point. But if you are looking for a really nice dry shampoo and you have a little bit of extra money to spend, I don't think that you would be disappointed with this. I just wish that it wasn't in the $30 range. I think it's like $32. You could try the mini though for less money and see if you like it before splashing out for the full size, because it does what it says. I think it's a nice dry shampoo. I think people who use a lot of dry shampoo though are having to repurchase constantly, and so it might get a little bit expensive. But other than the price point, I don't really have anything bad to say about it. So will I repurchase it with my own money? Maybe in the future, but not right this second. But if you are looking for a really nice dry shampoo, I think it's a good one. Last hair product of the bunch, this is the Aquage Uplifting Foam. So I mentioned I have fine hair that tends to lay pretty flat. If you are like me, you have fine or thin hair and you're looking for volume, this is amazing. This is very heavy duty. It is going to give you a lot of volume, and a little bit goes a long way. When I applied this, I actually parted my hair into sections and then sprayed a line, like a really thin line of the product on my scalp in each of those sections. And then I combed through to distribute it throughout my hair. And it works really, really well for volume. I think Aquage is a little bit difficult to find. If I remember correctly, you might have to buy it from a salon. You could probably buy it from their website. I'm not quite sure. But I will say I have seen this at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and I think that's actually where I bought this one. So check your TJ Maxx, your local TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and see if they have any of the Aquage products, because this is another one that's going to be a little bit more expensive, but it works like a dream if you need volume and you want it to hold in your hair. A lot of products can give you volume, I find. You can get volume just from hairspray, right? But it's not going to last. This really grips in the hair and gives you volume that's going to stay in your hair. So it's a great one for like a special event. If you are a bridesmaid, I think that was the first time that I ever tried this, actually, was when I needed my updo to have some volume that lasted throughout the night. This is the only product that I've tried from Aquage. I would be interested to try more from them if they have any other volumizing products, because I'm really, really impressed by how well this works in my hair. So another highly recommend from this list of my empty hair care products. Let's move on to skincare now. So I finished 2 skincare products in January. The first being the SkinFix Barrier Plus Skin Barrier Restoring Gel Cream. So I was again, gifted this for review. It sounds like I'm being gifted a ton of products, but these are all products that I've received over time and I just happened to finish all of them up this month. But I love SkinFix as a brand. Their other Barrier Plus cream, which is the triple lipid, I think it's called the triple lipid barrier cream. It looks exactly like this, but it's in a deeper blue packaging, is my holy grail. As someone with dry, sensitive, easily irritated skin, I absolutely love that and I use it all the time. So I was curious to try the kind of lighter weight version of that, which was this, the Skin Barrier Restoring Gel Cream. Definitely lighter in texture than the other one. So maybe more suited to people with oily skin or normal to combination skin. It has the same kind of packaging as the other one where you press and it gives you the perfect amount of product just right on the lid here. It's also refillable, so I can show you, you just take this out and you can buy a refill cartridge to just put right back in. So this outer packaging you can keep. That's what I do with my other one. I just buy the refills now. It's only a couple dollars difference, but it does save on the plastic use and waste. So if you have tried the other one, the triple lipid, and that was too heavy for you, you might really like this one. As someone with dry skin, this was never going to be enough moisture for me to use as my regular, you know, day cream or night cream, especially in the winter. So I used this primarily on my neck and I felt that it was perfect for that use, especially when I'm getting dressed in the morning and I don't want to have a super emollient kind of slippy slidey product on my neck when I'm getting dressed. It sunk right into my skin and left my skin feeling moisturized without any kind of residue on top of my skin. And I also use this in the morning before working out. So sometimes if I know I'm going to be sweating during a workout, I don't want to put on my heaviest moisturizing cream because I know it's just going to slide off my face. This was really great for that purpose because it sunk in a lot more quickly and still gave me that moisture that I was looking for. So definitely a great product. Definitely not marketed toward my skin type, but if you have a more normal combination to oily skin type, I think you would really enjoy this. And the other skincare empty is actually a holy grail in my routine. This is the third one of these that I've finished now, I think. Third or fourth. This is the Face Theory Ocuwake Eye Cream. It says it's a collagen boosting bacterial ferment extract with chamomile and licorice. This stuff is so good. Little backstory, I went through a period of time a year and a half ago, actually when I first started my Instagram account, where my under eye area was so dry. I'm talking crusty, flaky. There was no chance of concealer sitting smoothly on top of it. And every eye cream that I tried during that time would sting the living daylights out of that area. I tried so many different eye creams because I needed, obviously, moisture because it was so dry. But so many of the eye creams I was using were irritating it, burning, stinging, and just really, really uncomfortable. So I was skeptical when I first tried this, but this was the only eye cream I found that didn't irritate the area and actually made a huge difference in the moisture of the area. So I can't really go without this in my routine. I'm very cautious when it comes to trying other eye creams because I have such sensitive under eyes and a sensitive eye area anyway. And I know that the majority of eye creams out there are going to irritate me. So this is a holy grail that I keep coming back to. And it's actually surprisingly not a super heavy eye cream. You would think by the way that I'm talking about it that it would be really, really thick and, you know, heavy and moisturizing and occlusive. It's actually not. It's actually more of like a lightweight kind of creamy gel hybrid. But it really, really works to hydrate the under eye area without any irritation. And the only thing I can think is that it must have something to do with the bacterial ferment extract that they use. So if you are someone who's struggling with that, I would absolutely recommend this to you. Like I said, I've bought it multiple times. I'm probably going to be buying it again. And a little bit goes a long way. So you can, you know, have this one tube for months and months at a time and not run through it too quickly. That can be another issue with eye creams if you have dry under eyes like I do. You're using them morning and night and they just get used up too quickly. This one lasts me at least, I would say, a good 6 months. One of my holy grail skincare products, if you walk away with one recommendation from this video, it would be this. Okay, and so the last empty is my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I think this is a really nice mist. It is a very fine mist and it has a nice kind of fresh scent to it. If you're sensitive to scents, you probably wouldn't like it, but of all the setting mists I've tried, I would say this one probably has the best smell. Would I repurchase it though? Probably not. I mean, I've been way more impressed by the Charlotte Tilbury one that I use in terms of keeping my makeup on my face. I don't think this one is necessarily bad, but I'm not sure if you absolutely have to have this one either. I think there are probably comparable options on the market. So, you know, I'm not sure I'll repurchase it, but it's not a bad setting mist. Okay, so those are all of my empties for January. Now we are going to move on to my declutters, and this section makes me a little bit sad because I'm decluttering all of these products for the same reason, which is I believe that they are expired. And that is so infuriating as someone who is actively now trying to work through the products that I have in my collection. I hate when things have expired before I've had a chance to completely use them up, and that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to be more mindful about how much makeup I'm buying and bringing into my collection and actively working on using what I have, because I just hate being wasteful in that way. But at the end of the day, I learned a valuable lesson this month. If you have a suspicion that a product is expired, just go ahead and throw it out. Don't try to keep using it because you may suffer the consequences. We'll talk about that more in a minute. The first one that I'm going to be decluttering, or in this case, having to throw away, is my Bare Minerals bronzer. This is the Endless Summer Bronzer in the shade Warmth. I bought this at TJ Maxx, which, you know, you're kind of playing a dangerous game when you buy makeup products at TJ Maxx because you just have no idea how old they are, how long they've been around and in circulation in stores, how long TJ Maxx has had them, right? So it's kind of a risk when you're buying makeup from TJ Maxx sometimes and you don't know how long it's been there. But this bronzer is a beautiful product. It's a really nice kind of warm golden bronze shade. I just noticed that there was an issue in the pan itself. I'll try to show you here. I'm not sure if you can see right above the writing that there are some little raised bumps. So that was kind of a first sign that something was a little bit weird about the product. And then the smell. I started noticing the smell. It just smells like bug spray, like straight up bug spray. Just chemical, overpowering bug spray smell, and not really something that I want to put on my face, especially seeing the difference in texture in the pan. It's just not something that I think I want to risk, and I ended up asking you all on Instagram whether or not you think I should just throw it out, and most people were like, probably expired, probably time to throw it out. So this is a formal goodbye to the Bare Minerals bronzer. It was a fine bronzer. I'm not like super heartbroken about having to get rid of it, other than the fact that it is wasting product, and that is frustrating. When something expires and it's gotta go, it's gotta go. Which was a valuable lesson that I learned this month with a product that has kind of broken my heart, which is the Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. I purchased this foundation less than a year ago. I think it was last spring. So I've had it in my collection for a while, but over the past few months, something happened. I had been using this lots because I love the coverage. The amount of coverage that it gives is very light and skin-like and just sort of everyday glowy. All of those things that I want in my foundation. My camera stopped recording, which means I'm talking for way too long about all these products. I need to hurry up. Anyway, I was really excited about this foundation. I really enjoyed the Kosas Revealer Concealer, and I used this for months without any issues and really enjoyed it. Middle of November, end of November, I started noticing I was getting a suspicious face rash with raised bumps that were really painful and itchy and red. and I couldn't quite figure out what was causing it. I put it down to maybe I had tried, you know, a skincare product that didn't agree with my skin or something. Every time that I used this foundation, I noticed it had that effect, and so finally I put two and two together that this foundation was causing a huge amount of skin irritation that was really, really uncomfortable. Even though it says it doesn't expire until 7/2023, which is July of this year, I think that something is expired in here. It does say it is a broad spectrum SPF 25, so I'm wondering if maybe, you know, the SPF went off and started irritating my skin. I'm not quite sure. Kosas is a clean beauty brand, which I'm learning more and more now means that their products, you kind of can't expect them to last all the way up until the listed expiration date, which is really frustrating when you spend, you know, $40 some on a foundation and you would like for it to last at least until the expiration date printed on the bottle. So just a word of warning with any of your clean beauty products, maybe go into your collection, smell them, check on things, make sure everything's okay. I never noticed an issue with the smell changing drastically. It was just what it was doing to my skin that led me to come to the conclusion that something was up with this foundation. I contacted Kosas and they were actually very nice about it, and they refunded my money, which I think is very classy and also just probably the right thing to do. But unfortunately, yeah, I probably would think twice about buying from Kosas again, just because of my experience with this product and the next product that I'm going to talk about. Even though they are one of like my favorite brands in terms of like the aesthetics of the brand and how they fit my everyday makeup style, I've just been scarred by this foundation, and I'm gonna have to kind of tread carefully with them from here on out. Which leads me to the Kosas AirBrow. So I have two Kosas AirBrows. I have one that is clear that is in my Rolling Project 10 pan, which is completely fine. I've checked it multiple times. This is the tinted version in the shade medium brown that is actually nice for, you know, adding more volume and a tint to your brows. So what the product actually does is not the issue, it is that it has gone bad. And I know it's gone bad because of the way that it smells. This is something that people have talked about with the Kosas concealer as well. And trust me, I have gone into my collection and I have smelled all of my Kosas products to try and avoid any kind of skin irritation. And this one did not pass the test. So the expiration on this is 6 months. So I actually might have reached the expiration of this product, which is why I'm not going to reach out to Kosas and ask for my money back in the same way that I did for the Revealer foundation. I guess 6 months really is the point that, you know, you should start thinking about your Kosas products maybe going bad. I'm going to keep an eye on the clear version of the AirBrow that I have just to make sure, keep a very close eye on that because I don't want to be using expired products on my face. And so yes, this one unfortunately has to go as well. So like I said, I don't anticipate having declutters every month. I don't anticipate having expired products every month. I really hope that's not the case, but I figured I would tell you about that just as a word of warning if you have any clean beauty products in your collection that you might just want to check on things periodically, make sure things are still okay, and also just to let you know that I've now downsized my makeup inventory by 3 because of the way that all of that shook out. 3 expired products in 1 month doesn't feel great in terms of how much money is being wasted. So let's move now to some cheerier, more exciting news, which is that I hit 2 pans this month, which makes me feel a little bit better and like I'm getting my money's worth out of my makeup. The first one is very exciting. I hit pan in my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. You probably saw this in my last video. If you didn't catch that video, I did a full-ish face of Charlotte Tilbury. I will have that linked in the description for you if you'd like to go catch up. I hit pan really, really early in January, and I've kind of been expanding the pan every time I've used this powder. So there she is. I'm very excited about that pan because it is a Charlotte Tilbury product, obviously, with a luxury price point. So hitting pan shows me that I'm getting my money's worth out of the product, and also I really like the powder. So that feels really good. And then the other pan also feels really good because it's an eyeshadow pan, which hitting pan and eyeshadow is one of those things where if you have a big eyeshadow collection like I do, it doesn't come around all that often. So when it does, it is cause for celebration. I hit pan in my Wet n Wild Color Icon in the shade My Glamour Squad, which I talked about on Instagram. Wet n Wild matte eyeshadows are some of the best out there. I absolutely love their mattes, and using this palette again this month has just reminded me of how good their matte eyeshadows actually are. I'm not 100% sure what shade this is because the shades don't have names in the Wet n Wild palettes, but it's this kind of deeper but still neutral brown matte shade. See the pretty pan there? You may or may not know about my eyeshadow palette panning project. If you haven't caught up on that, I'll also leave that linked in the description. But I'm trying to use all of my eyeshadow palettes at least 3 times this year. So when I pulled this out and I noticed that I had a pretty significant dip in that shade, I was wondering whether or not I would be able to hit pan on it in 3 uses. And it took exactly 3 uses for me to hit that pan. So that was very exciting, cause for celebration. We love an eyeshadow pan around here, and I actually really love this palette. So I may be reaching back into it more than my goal of the 3 times, just because I'm really enjoying using it. The Wet n Wild shimmers leave a little bit to be desired. They're not terrible, but you know, they're obviously not my favorite in terms of affordable shimmer eyeshadows, but the mattes are excellent. Very high quality and highly recommend. So that's everything. Those are my empty products, my declutter products, and my products that I hit pan on in January. If you've stuck around this long, you might as well go ahead and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!